a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
Ayo, I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Robert from Cabin 9.
Merry Christmas, Percy Jackson fandom.
Oh yeah, this is coming out Christmas Eve.
It's gonna come out Christmas Eve. Like, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Or as Hispanics know it, Christmas.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Happy solstice, y'all.
Yes, indeed. To us recording, it is now the solstice.
I mean, the Percy Jackson show was a solstice present, was it not? It came out a little early, but like still.
Technically it was, yeah. I'm like, it came out a little early. Speaking of which, hi, it's me, the fucking meme guy. They got me again.
Oh,
hells
look,
yeah.
Look, you know who's on this episode? Like the famous Robert Gaymer from the TheDamMemePage.
Did I not let you introduce yourself? Was I?
No. No one let me introduce myself, but I thought it'd be funnier if I just went and being like, hey, it's me, the fucking meme boy, let's go.
the person who went to the premiere of Percy Jackson in New York at the Met.
Yeah, they fucking did.
Went to the premiere, saw the first 2 episodes, met pretty much the entire cast. It was great.
And they memed
the
for
pictures,
you.
I'm insane. Like,
they memed
holy
for
shit.
you. You got them to meme.
Charlie Bushnell and Walker Scobell, I asked them if they could pose for a meme. I showed them the original concept from like the first 2 big memes on the meme page, and they're like, sure, let's do it. And it was pretty fun.
That's so wonderful. Like, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I love
They're
it.
pretty chill. Here's some hot tea about the kids. You ready?
Boy.
Out of all the kids, the older ones are more social. So Charlie and Arian are very social. They're very friendly. They're very, when I was talking to Arian, he like had his hand on my back, like patting it, like being like, oh yeah, I know you. You were next to Liam at the thing. I'm like, yeah, that was me. Walker and Leia, who are, I believe, 13 and 14 right now, they're very awkward, very like, I don't want to be here. I'm small.
Aw. Yeah, they're babies. They shouldn't even have to be there.
Even though Walker is fucking 5'7".
Oh my god. Damn. This child is taller than me. I can't.
Yep. Taller than you and literally almost half your age.
It's fine. This is a baby who's taller than me. I can't. Yeah.
But no, it was also very nice because I think I was generally maybe one of the first people of that night, if not his entire career, not necessarily going up just for like a photo or whatever. I like shook his hand. I talked to him. I'm like, I hope you have a successful career, a good life. And he's like, man, thanks, man. That means a lot. Like, hell yeah.
Aww. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a good one. You're a good one, Robert.
I try my best. Hey, speaking of a good one, you know what was a good one? The first 2 episodes of the Percy Jackson show.
Holy shit.
Hey, y'all.
You know how I was like weirdly pessimistic during the trailer episode? No longer. This shit fucking slaps. It's so good.
Like, you were like, I don't know, whatever.
I like to not have my expectations be too high. I like to like bring up my concerns, like just in case, because adaptations are fucking hard. And, it helps to like be prepared for disappointment. Because then the highs are so much higher. Like, holy shit, it's so good.
Was it not perfect? Was it not amazing?
It's amazing.
No, it was
literally
perfect.
Like, my biggest gripe with it is the fact that there's no theme song, and that's not even a plot thing.
I mean, the theme song is just, triumphant horns and orchestra.
No, it's not iconic enough. I'm sorry. Where is the dark version of Riptide? Why isn't that just the theme song?
Here, listen. That Riptide cover, great for the trailers, great for the teaser. I don't think it should be in the show. It's not on the soundtrack.
No, I don't want it to be like in an episode, but it'd be fine as a theme song.
It would just be really cringe if, like...
I mean, I guess.
It would be really cringe if, like, final fight against Ares or whatever.
Yeah,
he uncaps it. It's like, running down in the Riptide. And it's like, bruh. Brother.
I'm fine with these things.
Hey, so, first episode thoughts. I mean, I presume there are some differences we should talk about because it's an adaptation. It's not literally a one-for-one of the book.
Like, it covers, like, the first 3 chapters, I'm gonna say.
Covers everything from I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher to what is the Minotaur chapter called? I forgot.
My mother teaches me bullfighting. So first 4 chapters, actually. First 4 chapters. We do skip the fates, which, like, honestly, that's fine for pacing.
Which is fine, which is weird because there's promo for the fates. Like, we know what they look like. I guess they appear just later.
That means they're gonna appear later, and it's gonna be, like, Rick... Remember, this is, like, Rick's second chance to do this series. You know? Like, maybe he's gonna be like, okay, maybe there was a better place to put the fate, right? You know?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that
you know, pacing for TV shows is just different from a book, you know?
I mean, true. I feel like it would make more sense to be in, like the last episode or something after, like, we get the Luke Percy thing, because reasons. Reasons.
Charlie Bushnell, very, very nice guy. That's how he speaks in real life, by the way. That kind of like we see Luke in the next episode, but he does speak like that in real life. He does have that kind of like, this is what cool kids sound like sort of voice.
Excellent. That's so good to know.
He's great. He's great.
He's so good as Luke.
Oh, he's so good as Luke. Hey, fun fact. Charlie's mom listens to Seaweed Brain.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, as much as Erica and Carter were gushing over her, she was gushing over them, being like, "Oh my god, you guys are Seaweed Brain!" It's great. It was cute.
Aww.
Love that. That's so good.
So, hey, can we talk about how it literally opens up perfectly as it should? Look, like, I didn't want to be a half-blood.
He said the line.
I literally. So, I mean, we're going to be watching along with, like, our patrons and the whole Deus Ex Media server, but when we did, I wanted to be like, okay, everybody drink, like he did the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I need to make a drinking game for this. But you know, like, he did the thing. He said the line.
He said the thing. He did the thing.
I like how the second episode also opens up with Annabeth saying the line. You know?
It does! I was like, it's very interesting that they got that in there, but there's not a lot of Annabeth, but we do get that.
There is not.
It's like, we have to get that thing, if nothing else. You know? Okay. So I don't know how I want to talk about this stuff. Like, if we're not going scene by scene, I don't know how to talk about it.
I don't think we should really go scene by scene. So listen, the opening scene is great. I believe that opening scene looks like that's either going to be from a future episode or it's like the dream.
I thought it was from the dream.
That was my other thing. It's either from the dreamscape or it's from a future episode.
Okay. So I just did my rewatch where I took all my notes, and the dream sequences. The first one, I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Who is this cloaked figure who's talking to him? What's happening?
Kronos.
The second one, yes, it's totally Kronos. Kronos is trying to, like, sow discord in Percy's mind so that he doesn't want to support the gods.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if anyone caught the fun detail about Kronos' voice. I don't know if anyone remembers what it was described like in the first book.
I do not.
Like nails on a chalkboard, I think? I don't know.
It was described like rusting metal or something like that. And if you listen closely to this figure, it does sound kind of like, I guess the best way to describe it is like a rusty gate closing.
Nice.
So that's some good stuff. Well, very, very good stuff. Hey,
it was very creepy.
Speaking of that when young Percy at the beginning goes to the roof and he sees a Pegasus, a black Pegasus.
Black Pegasus. There's only one Black Pegasus that has ever existed.
And he's a trans icon.
He is a trans icon. Black Jack. My favorite mobster ever.
Yeah. My other things, let's see, what else can we talk about? We can talk about Mrs. Dodds. She's great.
Okay, yeah. I've heard people say that they thought that scene was, like, too short. And I'm like,
I was about to say,
do people not remember how short it is? Like, it's literally less than a chapter. It's less than a page in the book.
It's less than a chapter, yes.
Like, he swings a sword and she's dead immediately. Like,
what I'm gonna say is that the scene is very short. It feels very fast, but I think that that's okay, specifically because we spend so much time dealing with the repercussions of what happens there.
Yes.
Like, it's almost like Percy has had this sudden, like, insane thing to happen to him, and then it's all gone in like a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and then we have to deal with that.
It's like a sudden traumatic event.
You know,
so
yeah.
The
like
reason
a
has to
sudden
be
traumatic event that has to be. It's just short. It's blink and you miss it, and then it's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm dealing with this for the rest of my life. Cool.
Yeah, here's the thing. It has to be short. It has to be fast paced like that. It has to be a shorter thing because it would be a really boring episode of television if this was just like Percy's school time. Like they also don't go back to school where he overhears Chiron and Grover talking like about him.
Fine.
Which is fine. You can't put that. It'll be weird to put in a television show. Hey, speaking of blink and you miss it, when Percy's getting expelled, you know who's off to the left?
You know? Who's there?
It's the man, the myth, the legend.
It's him, Richard Russell Riordan III. Junior. Oh, we can't forget Junior. It's
not even the third. It's just Junior.
It was so funny. I posted a meme that was like the prolonged eye contact meme. And so many comments were like, oh my God, I didn't catch it. And it was also a lot of comments from like Percy Jackson podcasters who got screeners. I'm like, my brother in Christ, you watched this episode like 12 times already. How did you not catch it?
Bro, okay. I didn't catch it the first time. You know why? Because one, that scene is so fucking dark.
That's
like
the
lighting.
Yes, you can't see him very well. It's true.
But also, I was like, because the scene was dark, I was trying to figure out who was playing the principal. I was like, oh, who are these people in this room? I'm like, I think I recognize who that person is, and I spent too much time on that. I just didn't have enough time to like focus on Rick in the corner as well. I was like, Chiron's there, who's the principal, and the scene is over.
Yeah, I caught it instantly, my guy. Like it wasn't even a challenge. I was scouting out. I knew his cameo was in the first episode. Someone had told me it was in the first episode, so I'm like, okay, I'm scouting out every scene possible. And then I saw it, and I'm like,
how do we feel about this sudden change in Grover?
Shout out to Grover being probably the best character of the first 2 episodes.
I mean, it's Sally.
Yeah, and Sally, true.
Yeah, like the fact that we had to have Grover saying, oh yeah, Percy did it. Also, like, he wanted to hurt her anyway. Like, how do we feel about Grover?
So what we have done here that I think is incredibly smart of them is they have given Grover a mini character arc in the first 2 episodes. Grover betrays Percy in a way that we understand as the audience on the outside of the situation was in order to protect him.
Yep.
But from Percy's perspective, and like the first time you're watching it, you're like, holy shit, you are lying to betray your friend. That's fucked up. It feels bad. People are gaslighting Percy so much, it feels so bad. But and then we get into the second episode, and then Grover is the only person who will tell Percy the truth. He is like a true friend, and you get that, like, seeing him do that for Percy. And I think that works very well. I think that it's this really cool little like arc for him.
Honestly, okay. I feel like a meme could be made for the first 2 episodes. It's the fact that like, how are we gonna like move the plot along? Grover does something. Grover is the reason that Percy gets kicked out of school and has to go to camp. Grover. And, like, the very last, like, 5 minutes of the episode is also the reason why Percy goes on the quest, actually. Grover is the reason why we are moving along in our fucking plot.
Yeah, and giving Grover more to do that way works really well.
Fantastic.
Grover is, like, the one character who I kind of wish they had played a little bit differently, because in my mind, he's, like, kind of a little anxious guy, and this version of Grover feels a little bit more mature and more serious than I typically want him to be, but I feel like where they're going with his character works very well. It's just not exactly what I would have wanted to be translated from the books.
To be fair, he is 24.
Yes, this is true.
He is, in fact, 24.
Yeah.
I love it how he just, like, drops that with, like,
and Percy's like, excuse me, the fuck?
I missed it the first time, too. Like,
Shirley, what were you... Okay, no, I can't blame you. The first time watching it, like, in the comfort of a quiet area, the theater is loud. Even the premiere was loud. Everyone was like, woo!
Like, the amount
of, like... They said the line, woo! I'm like, please, shut up. Where are the subtitles? Can the Met give me subtitles?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. Like, the amount of just, like, people, like, screaming and going crazy in theater. I'm like, yes, I love this energy for the first time watching, but also I'm like, I feel like I am missing things, but I'm gonna rewatch it anyway, so it's fine. But the subtitles on every subsequent rewatch helped me find out more things. So
yeah.
It's great. I think they technically aged Grover down, but like not.
Yeah,
that
Grover
much.
was 28 in the first book, but who cares? It's an adaptation.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why he has the goatee, because he's actually like a little bit older than Percy physically.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of adaptations and characters, hey, you know who we meet? Gabe and Sally. Gabe.
Okay, how do we feel about this?
He's definitely he can't be as mean as he is in the books because Disney, and
yeah,
I think they're still portraying the subtleness of an abusive relationship without having him be like verbally and like loudly abusive or like physically abusive. There's subtleties, like he's the one who's answering Sally's phone. Sally still has to ask permission to use the car. It's still there.
Yeah, it is. Like, if you want like a more 1-to-1 of their relationship, honestly, the movies did like a 1-to-1 of Gabe. I do think.
Yeah.
Actually, and that's why it's not fun to watch.
Yes. They are able to make Gabe a more comedic character specifically by having Percy and Sally sass back to him without there being like huge like repercussions for that. But like giving them that dialogue makes it more fun of a scene.
Like, bro, one of my favorite moments in the first episode is actually just Sally and Gabe going back and forth in that one conversation.
You're gonna let me take the car, and if you don't, I'm gonna still get sandwiches, and I'm gonna eat yours alone in the car while I listen to the Knicks game. You know, I can't listen to the Knicks game without my sandwich. You know, neither can I.
Yeah, I'm just like,
it was almost like kind of cute because he's like, you know, I hate watching the Knicks alone specifically. Yeah. He was like, I want you here.
Shout out, by the way, to that jersey he has on the wall. I don't know the name of the football player, but I do know that football player started playing and ended playing in like the late 2010s, early 2020s. Oh. So, hey, timeline. Woo! What?
Nice.
Timeline?
Yeah, sorry, I just have so many thoughts about like this one thing.
Yeah, and you know what I have thoughts about? You know who won? The Olivia Rodrigo girlies, because Sally Jackson is listening to Olivia Rodrigo in the rain.
Is she?
Listen,
nice. Hell yeah.
Okay. So, I guess I'm gonna go on this tirade now, but like Sally Jackson,
hot as fuck, MILF, love her.
I told you guys from the first trailers we got.
I met Virginia Cole. It was great.
We got seeing her as Sally, and I was just like, oh, Sally's gonna be a MILF, guys.
Yeah.
And you all laughed at me. You all laughed. Am I wrong?
No.
Was I wrong?
You're not. I attacked very normal around Virginia Cole at the premiere. having just freshly watched her portray the best Sally Jackson in the entire world.
Yes.
So yeah, I had to be normal. Erica was not normal. I'm going to put Erica on blast. Erica was not normal.
Good.
But to be fair, Virginia Cole, very attractive, very, very fun, very good.
Very attractive.
She was also very charismatic. Here you get the extra behind the scenes scoop because I was at the premiere. She was very, very nice, very charismatic. She listened to like mainly Erica and Carter, like, and also a little bit like me and Phoebe and Emily and everyone.
Hey, nice.
She listened to everyone. It was nice. For the most part, all the famous people at the premiere listened to everyone and gave a shit about everyone. And like, I don't want to say anything bad about Jason Mantzoukas. He's a good guy, but like he left that conversation we had a 5-minute conversation the first thing after the premiere ended, and I'm like, he does not remember me. He forgot me the second he stopped talking to me, and I respect that.
Yeah. Being an actor with your own shit going on, who does not have time to remember people you randomly talk to, I respect that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
Sally Jackson, MILF. We did it, boys.
Sally Jackson's a MILF. I would die for her. How do I become Mr. Sally Jackson?
Kill Gabe.
Kill Gabe.
All right, I'll do it.
I know you will.
All right, we gotta cast.
I would in a heartbeat.
Time to cast Charlie as Paul Blofeld.
Yes, hell yes.
Just a little
guys, they're gonna cast me as Paul. I'm gonna have the salt and pepper hair. I'm gonna dress up as Rick, actually.
The other things I really like,
Audition.
because we can fast forward a little bit to like the cabin scene, is Percy's so sassy, but not intentionally like how he is in the books where he has to like bite back his tongue. A lot of the humor from Percy, from like Walker's Percy, comes from him reacting to what other people tell him. So like when Sally's trying to tell him that his dad is a god, he like, you fell in love with a god? Like
Jesus? It's so fucking good.
Percy realizing he's the second coming.
Or also like at the beginning when Sally is like, do you know why we come to this cabin every year? And he's like, because of the septic tank, it's cheaper.
Yeah,
like
that's so good.
Like her sassy is here, guys.
Have you guys seen the Sassy edit of the blonde version?
I believe I have. I'm pretty sure because I'm in the league. I'm in the league. I know. I'm in the know. Yeah, it's just he's good. He's here with all the comebacks. Like immediately, he's on point. He's got the timing. He's got the timing. Good job.
First episode, it's less snark and it's less witty comeback. It's just like, am I understanding this right? Like what? It's also a little bit of that neurodivergent thing where someone asks you not theoretical question, what's the word? It's rhetorical question.
Yeah,
and you answer and they're like, I didn't need an answer. I'm like, but you asked me a question.
Yeah.
You did. In fact, you asked me a question. So it must be answered, obviously.
I was so worried we were going to lose Percy's sass, but not only is it here, but it is exactly how I like interpret Percy's sass, which is that he only does it when you do it first. Like
you realize who wrote the first 2 episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll realize why it's there immediately from the get-go. Rick is here. Rick is involved.
It's so good.
So
good.
When I get you, Ricky. When I get
So, oh God, what was I literally about to say? Never mind. Go ahead.
I have so many thoughts. I can't organize any of them.
Oh, there are so many thoughts to have. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to navigate us down a somewhat of a steady path. Somewhat.
I feel like
the word is somewhat.
I feel like I had more thoughts about like the Sally and Gabe thing.
The Sally and Gabe thing.
My brain like died for a second.
The only thought I still have is that no matter how like quote unquote soft Gabe looks or feels in this show, I'm still gonna root for Sally when she kills him at the end.
I mean, remember, like, yeah, it's a Disney show. There's not a lot that we're gonna see, I assume, of like that side of the relationship, you know?
Because that doesn't even really come up at the beginning of the show. Like,
exactly.
The beginning of the book. Percy at the end of the book is like, oh, he's been hitting you, hasn't he? And then, you know.
Like, Percy just thought he was an asshat before.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh.
Kind of where I'm assuming we're going to be going is like, we're going to get that reveal and then that's going to like justify her murdering his ass as she should.
Yes. Exactly. Like, yeah. I just am glad that Sally has agency in this adaptation. That is my favorite thing. She is not like a wet blanket. Like, we all love Sally Jackson. We love her so much. In the first book, we can all agree she's also kind of a vehicle for Percy's plots. She is still fridged, like, a little bit. We can all still love her and her personality, but she's still like the mom who dies.
Book Sally Jackson, to me, is Miss Honey from Matilda. And also my mom. But, like, you know, Miss Honey is a very, like, quiet personality who is kind in ways that are not going to get her in trouble with people who might hurt her. And, like, that's a valid way to be and to react to abuse. I also like this interpretation. This is very cool.
Yeah, I just, again, like I said, I like it because it gives her more to do instead of just being, like, that quiet mom who just, like, takes it. I want her to be a ball buster just a little bit.
Right. Fast forwarding a little bit more, we're in the car. Grover's here and we're running away from the Minotaur. We have, you know, boys buckle up. Actually, I'm 24. Percy's like looking back. We also get a lot of exposition. Like I think Raye said, we get mainly our exposition and our introduction to a lot of the magical stuff. The Mist, Mrs. Dodds, the Minotaur, etc. through Grover.
Okay, like, we could say, like, oh my god, like, so many of Annabeth's lines are, like, given to Grover and Sally in these first 2 episodes, honestly. Annabeth doesn't have a lot to do.
No.
But I'm glad, again, for Grover has more to do.
Oh, absolutely.
As like he's a vehicle for Percy to know this world, which is like, hey, what they added in with the Mythomagic thing. Mythomagic is here. Mythomagic was
Very
training.
fun.
It's gonna be so heartbreaking when if season 3 ever happens, when he meets Nico, and you're just like seeing them at the beginning, shaking hands, being like, "Oh my god, you like Mythomagic too!" And at the end, we'll get there.
Maybe Percy, like after this, he like stops caring about Mythomagic, and then you know, in a year and a half, whenever he meets Nico, he's just like, "Oh right, I remember those guards. I used to be into that."
Yep.
Yeah.
So to talk a little bit about the exposition, Rick's writing in the books focuses a lot on holding back information and like using it as shocking reveals as frequently as he can, which can make the characters, especially like Brunner and stuff, feel very cagey and almost like unrealistically like weird about it.
Raye, you hurt me. What is Chiron's human name?
They call him Brunner.
They do,
in
and
the
I hate
show.
it.
I don't like
hate
it either. I had to do that on purpose just now.
Guys, it is a 2N name. It should be Brunner.
It should be Brunner. They call him Brunner. It's not my fault.
But you know what? I don't care how they pronounce his name because Thalia.
Thalia, we win.
I'm very happy for you.
We win.
I won.
All right.
I won.
All right. Here, we're gonna have to like speed a little bit. Sorry. Minotaur fight scene. Fantastic. Everything. What do we think about the Minotaur? Do the monster fuckers have a something to stand on? I forgot what the fuck the phrase is.
You know what? He looks better than in the movie. That's all I got for you.
He does. It's a great design, and we get the okay. You know how you know that this is a good adaptation? Because we get the tidy whities, like they preserve that when they super do not need to, but they are able to visualize it in a way that does not feel incongruous with the live action like design sensibilities. It looks like realistic and like not even like overly goofy in the show. I did not think it was possible. It's a good monster design. Like this adaptation slaps.
Yeah,
Tish
Monaghan, who is the what's it called, the costume designer for the show, they actually did make a giant ass pair of underpants because the Minotaur is like half CG, half practical effects. A lot of the like mainly that big standing shot towards the end where he's like holding the boulder. I believe that is just like a bunch of people puppeteering a giant like Minotaur.
That fucking slaps. And it pays off. It feels so visceral when he picks up the boulder. Like
the boulder. All right. No,
so all of the effects in the show, you can tell that it's a mix of CG and practical, and it looks incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The Dryad. If you want to talk effects, the Dryad.
That is all makeup pretty much. That's all pretty much makeup. Yep.
That's insane.
We did forget to mention it, but there was the opening scene where young Percy and Sally are at the Met, and she's explaining to him why he's named Percy. And she has this bit where she's like, oh, you know, his mother used to say to him, stand fast. Oh shit, it's
hold fast, Perseus.
Hold fast, Perseus, and brave the storm.
And
then there's like a little more to it. And she said that to him before, you know, she dies.
Okay. I want to talk about something that a couple of our friends in the Discord have mentioned as being a line they didn't love. You are singular.
I don't understand why people don't like that line.
I'm confused. I am confused
I also don't know what it really means, other than, I guess, maybe foreshadowing that he's Poseidon's son.
I think it's partially that. It's partially like, hey, Percy, you are unique human being. Stop comparing yourself.
Right. That's all that singular means is unique.
That's it. It's just a different way to say he's unique. It's like you are your own person. Yeah.
It's a word that stands out because it's not something that we usually hear. And so when Brunner uses that same word to describe Percy later after it's been revealed he's the son of Poseidon, that like is kind of this like mirror that also stands out.
But like in that moment when Sally says it, she's especially trying to say, Percy, you're not broken. Stop comparing yourself to other people in the world who have problems with their brains. You're not broken, okay? just because you see these things and you have these problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're
speaking
okay.
of that, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is like the way that they have represented like growing up with mental illness and how isolating that can be. Like making like Nancy's bullying be partially based off of that. And then the gaslighting part where everyone is lying to Percy and he doesn't feel like he can trust anyone. And then when his mom tells him the truth, he thinks that she is feeding his delusions and he is not about it. And
No.
I don't know. I thought that all of that worked really well and was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Percy, honest to God, I'm surprised, even with silhouettes, like we're like bordering like Clayton's silhouette from Tarzan. Percy just stabs the Minotaur with his own horn in like the brain. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's
I loved it.
You see him hit that same horn with his sword twice before he's able to break it with his hands.
That is the same horn that Sally had, like, in the car, too. Like, when she ran him.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's really funny. And then, of course, the episode has to end with, Chiron being like, "Welcome to Camp Percy Jackson. We've been expecting you." And then he passes the fuck out.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so great. Okay, can we talk about Dionysus and that fucking
Before we
moment?
talk about Dionysus with episode 2, we got to talk about the opening line.
You drool when you sleep.
You drool when you sleep.
She says the line.
She says the line, and then she's gone, but Percy remembers her, which is cool. Suspicious. But Dionysus, like, he's just like sitting there. Maybe he's asleep. Maybe he's awake with his sunglasses.
Jason Mantzoukas is a perfect. We talk about perfect casting for a lot of these characters. Jason Mantzoukas, perfect Dionysus.
The second he was cast, we knew he would be, but it's like seeing it visualized, literally incredible.
Like, okay, I will say I was comparing it to the Stanley Tucci, which, like, we didn't get a lot of Stanley Tucci, but, like, they're both amazing. Obviously, Jason wins because he was there longer.
Yeah. Technically, oh my god, yeah, he was. It's also really great because in the books, Mr. D is a lot more of a comedic foil, a lot more of like a comedic antagonist to Percy, where, he's powerful, but also his main quip is like, "Oh man, I can't get drunk. I hate all you fucking kids. I miss my wife." That's like this whole bit.
But how we get to learn about the whole, like, oh, demigods can do things for gods that gods can't do, like, by, hey, can you go grab me a drink? Son,
right,
son.
Yeah.
That part was for all of us who knew the plot of this and we're like, we know who Percy's dad is, okay? We know. Son.
Yeah. It's just Jason Mantzoukas. He's wonderful, fantastic. Fast forwarding a little more. By the way, I'm going to look up Chiron's. Cut this part out. I need to remember Chiron's actor. Chiron's actor. No, it's not Pierce Brosnan. It's Chiron actor Percy Jackson. Glenn Truman. There we go. Glenn Turman. Truman. I'm bad with names. Okay, so resume.
No, me too.
Glenn Turman, by the way, I don't know if y'all heard, he's like a good horse rider. Like the way they got Chiron's effects.
Yeah, is that he's also riding a horse?
He's riding a horse. And so they just like shift his body up to like the horse part. So it looks like,
oh my god.
The horse,
so funny.
It's actually a horse that's like walking around and doing its own horse things, which is funny because, Pierce Brosnan in the movie, his horse body would be randomly trotting and moving, but not moving forward. I'm like, excuse me? Do you not know how a horse works?
It's weird. I didn't like it, but
he takes him to Hermes' cabin, and here we meet Luke, played by Charlie Bushnell, who is fantastic. Again, he's playing kind of like what I guess the modern day adaptation of a quote unquote like surfer dude would be. Like he has that voice and inclination.
Okay, wait, can we talk about Chiron for 1 second? Because I found this out when I was looking at the Wikipedia, but there's also like a thing that Chiron is also like disabled. Chiron has something on his leg. I missed it.
He has the actor.
I did not see
no, the character Chiron,
the horse body.
The horse body.
Yeah,
interesting.
I did not notice anything. No.
I saw it on the Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia. Listen, bestie. The Wikipedia has only been able to have information for 2 days. I don't trust it.
It's true. But it does say, while the character only pretends to be disabled to disguise himself, blah, blah, blah. Character has a disability in the form of a brace on his hind leg as a war injury. The creators made this change to address disability that they noted it would be just a detail in the first season.
Rad as fuck. Okay, cool.
I did not notice that at all, but that sounds like a really cool way to like incorporate like actual disability representation into Chiron's character.
Yeah, in the fact that like, hey, he's just like a horseman who has a wheelchair.
Right, just happens to use a wheelchair. Yeah,
right.
That's always been like a little bit weird, so that's fun.
Something to add there.
So yeah, we meet Luke, played by Charlie Bushnell. He's fantastic. He's
amazing.
Amazing.
All the Luke fans have won. We also this dryad that Grover meets, I was watching the movie. Here's the thing. So I guess it's implied to be that she's like Grover's mom in some way. That's what I thought.
Some sort of paternal figure for Grover. Because she comments on like how he's picking at his horns. In a very motherly way.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're going to reveal her exact connection to him, probably not. I did turn to Phoebe from the Monster Donut podcast because she's the reason I went to the premiere. She made me her +1. I turned to her for a second. I'm like, is that Juniper? And she's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was not thinking it was Juniper at all. I was just like, oh, who's this dryad lady? What's happening? And then like the picking the horns, I was like immediately, that's his mom. Like it has
right.
To be.
It's
on that line to me.
We're just winning with the MILFs in this show.
truly winning.
So to talk a little bit more about adaptation, in that scene, Grover is going to see the Council of Clover and Elders. And so like that's this little like introduction of this thing that's going to show up later that like shows that they care about making more seasons of this, that, you know, they want to have everything set up properly. That's really cool.
It also shows that we can like see things that Percy doesn't see in this adaptation.
Yes, which is very different from the books. That's very fun.
Yeah.
They have a lot of little details from the book that they don't necessarily need to do, but they just want to for flavor that like make me so happy. You know, that shows how much care has been put into adapting this.
Yeah.
There's a strawberry field. They're picking strawberries in the camp scene. Yeah.
Blue food exists. Remember when those actors from the Sea of Monsters movie were like, why are they asking us about blue food? What is this blue food? It's not here in this movie at all.
Terrible.
What does that have to do with Percy Jackson? Guys.
There's a nice little montage where Luke, I keep thinking Charlie Bushnell. Anyway, where Luke takes Percy around trying to find, because there's this whole bit about Valor. Glory, that's what it is. Fuck. And how Percy's main, like what's driving his character forward at this point is not trying to get on his dad's good side. It's not trying to get noticed by his dad. It's trying to get his dad to notice him because, hey, deadbeat dad, what the fuck? My mom died for this. And so Luke is taking him around trying to find out what he's good at. He's not good at archery. He's not good at smithing. And hey, what was that god of disappointment? I think it was
failure.
Oisis? You know who says that line? You know who that was? That was Chris Rodriguez.
And he's really good in this episode.
I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, a kid in the Hermes cabin who's close to Luke. I wonder who it could be. I think it's Chris. And then I did see in the credits, it is in fact Chris.
I can't wait till people ship them. Like, yeah, whatever. Like the characters, not the people. Because I mean, listen. We know reasonably as people that they're just buddies, and that like when Luke betrays Percy and the camp at the end of the series or whatever, Chris Rodriguez is gonna join him. And like, yeah, it's gonna be platonic, bro. You're my bro, right, bro. Yeah, let's go, bro. But also, us intellectuals will be like,
but yeah, okay. I do have like thoughts about the whole like we're not actually gonna train Percy to do any of these things. We're just gonna find out like if he's immediately magically good at something, which like
talk about accuracy to the books.
Yes, they are demigods. Yes, they can be magically good at stuff, but also Percy wasn't immediately great at sword fighting until like he splattered water on himself.
To be honest, even then, he's still not good at sword fighting. It's just instinct. I don't think I honestly can't call Percy a good sword fighter. There are other characters in later series that you'll get to who have been training their whole lives And for some reason, the fandom is like, oh, no, Percy's better than that character in terms of sword fighting. I'm like, bitch, where? How? What?
Yeah, but like Percy learned from Luke.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I do miss about this is that we don't get a Percy Luke learning how to sword fight.
Yeah, that was
moment.
missing. Mm-hmm.
That was missing.
It's harder in this kind of medium to do like a time skip, like this stuff all happened while you weren't looking, like Percy and Luke training.
Yeah. We also get honestly the most So Chris Rodriguez and Luke tell Percy that like the gods will listen to him with the burnt offerings if he gives up what he wants, what he loves most or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Percy makes a little like hobo fire in a little
I'm gonna cry.
in a little can. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. It's where I cried. And he burns. Sally in the previous episode bought him blue candy as a welcome home present. And Percy, in an attempt to talk to his mom wherever she is burning the blue candy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Percy, Sally is not a god. I mean,
she's
like, yes, she's a goddess. But, like, she sadly, I don't think this is how you can summon her or talk to her. I imagine this call is going directly to Poseidon. Directly to Poseidon. And that's why he claims Percy, like, the next day. But like y'all, I do have one thing to say. That was like an interesting way of like, oh yeah, you gotta burn like the best part to get the god's attention, which like that both makes sense and like, hey, it's not mythologically accurate. Actually, they would burn the part that you don't need to eat.
Interesting.
That's the whole Prometheus myth, is that Prometheus got them to accept the parts that the people didn't need to survive. Lesser parts.
What they say that is what they say in the book also, though, that you give them the best bit of brisket or whatever.
But it actually does make sense, is that like, if you want the gods to pay attention, you give the better thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It does make sense. I will give them that. And I like it. And then immediately he's coming back. Clarice.
Yes.
Yep.
We've had her like once before this, and
and Clarice's main thing is also about glory, not glory. What the fuck's the word? It is glory. About glory,
glory,
but also
in English, it's kleos in Greek, I believe.
Right, yes. And her big thing is that this newbie, this Percy Jackson guy, comes in defeating a Minotaur. I don't fucking buy it. He's a fake. He's a phony, a great big phony. Takes him to the bathroom to, I guess, give him a swirly because it's 2006. And she'll be like, oh, I won't hurt you if you admit you're a phony. And Percy again, great neurodivergent representation, where it's like, you're asking me to lie, you're gonna punish me for lying, like I did beat the Minotaur. What do you want me to say? What do I do? Like, how do I get out of this?
And like, set up from episode 1, like, Percy does not lie. He does not like hypocrisy. He wouldn't do that.
Love this boy. We love him.
Yeah, works very good.
And yeah, the scene plays out as you think it would in the book, and then the Annabeth of it all. Okay, I want to talk about Annabeth and how she is portrayed in this one episode that we get her in. She says very few words. She is very to the point. She's so neurospicy. She is so goddamn neurospicy. I love her.
She's almost off-putting. She's a very serious person. She doesn't seem to have time for, any detours. I think that it's a really interesting interpretation of the character. I'm excited to see more.
I'm imagining this. So instead of having her be like the exposition dump, we have her being like, more closed off, more like in the shadows, just like, I'm strategic. I'm, trying to figure out where all these plot threads are gonna go. And so I'm imagining she's gonna be that way for a little while in the series until we get to that good architecture.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have like a character turnaround and she's gonna become like, okay, so there's this little factoid, and there's this little factoid, and like this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and it's like she's opened up. Her walls have come down because this is her in her element, actually. Like, she likes this thing, she's gonna info dump about it, because we get that good neurospicy Annabeth here and now. I love her. Okay, this is just me theorizing on what it's gonna be like, but that's the vibes I'm getting from her stoicism right now, is that there's going to be a turnaround somewhere, and I think it's going to be at the Arch. I think
that would be very fun.
Yeah.
So Luke is the one who tells us his and Annabeth's backstory in the show. And this is much earlier than we got it in the book, which is also interesting.
His little
Luke
sister?
calls Annabeth his little sister, yes.
But Percy does have a moment of like, wait, what? You're Asian, she's black. And he's like, let me explain. Like, he doesn't outwardly say it, but like that's what the expression's supposed to be. He's like, she's your sister?
If they are going to continue with that direction, I think that that's going to be a really good adaptational change. That is just as powerful.
What happened?
Is he Hispanic?
Who?
Luke's actor.
Charlie Bushnell.
No, Charlie Bushnell is Asian, I believe.
He was in the Disney Plus series, the Diary of a Future President, which is about a Hispanic family.
Okay, so we're both right. He's Costa Rican and Japanese.
That was going to be my guess. I was Googling it.
I was like, he might be mixed, but I'm like, he's definitely Hispanic too. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What the fuck was I talking about?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So Luke does not ever write Rick does not ever write Luke as being creepy towards Annabeth specifically, I don't think. But just avoiding even the implication of that in an adaptational change. I know, Charlie. They're making some faces at me.
There are things we can't talk about because we haven't gotten there.
Yes, but there are things. It's true, but yeah. Making
timelines,
making them wacky. More of siblings. I like that as an adaptation.
I like that he's saying this is how Luke is introducing Annabeth. Is like, she's my little sister. We don't know what she thinks here.
We do not yet.
It's true. We don't actually know what she thinks of Luke.
We do.
So, are you going to be upset if they don't have her have a crush on him?
Oh, I'm not going to be upset at all. Okay. I'm just like, we don't know which way they're necessarily going here. We're just saying that Luke is not being creepy.
Yeah. And then we get our good old capture the flag scene. It's great.
These young actors are doing really great fight choreography.
Oh, they really are. But you know who else is doing great choreography? Walker Scobell, who
my favorite scene.
Here's the thing. So Annabeth's plan is to leave Percy off to the side so that Clarice can find him for revenge and like be distracted, and they take the flag. Percy, I first saw this scene at New York Comic Con. This is peak ADHD.
I literally this before.
He, while waiting, because he's bored, he's just, as far as he knows, he was left in the middle of nowhere in this forest, and like, fuck it, whatever. He's bored. He starts flossing. He obviously is a well-hydrated boy. He has to pee, and he sees he sees a lizard. And he's like gingerly petting it. That was a real lizard brought in by a lizard person.
Guys,
whatever.
Guys, I need fan art of Percy and his lizard stat immediately. I want this now.
Yeah. And then, Clarice and her goons come out and they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna beat the shit out of you. And we don't care if we lose desserts for a while. Dear Goodjohn is very good at portraying somebody who's going to kill Percy Jackson. So much so that like when Percy breaks the spear and Dior yells at him and starts charging at him, Walker has said like, oh, I forgot we were acting. And I thought she was coming to hurt me.
No. I was thinking like during that scene, I was like, this is a bit of an upgrade from Nancy Boba Fett throwing cheese at them at the beginning of the show. Like, yeah, coming at him with an electric spear.
Okay, every time I've seen this now 4 times, but watching that scene, I'm just like, yes, she has electrified her spear. Percy, grab the metal items to protect yourself. Bro,
what else is he supposed to do? He needs some armor.
I know, but
here's the thing. Percy, here's the thing about science. Metal to some degree will absorb electricity. And because I would assume of the low volt. I assume it's not a lethal amount of voltage coming out of the spear, plus the leather
You don't
straps,
know.
plus Percy's general outfit, all the leather he's wearing. I imagine if there is any electricity coursing to him, it's very brief. He does not hurt. He's not going to feel anything.
Right.
You know what?
Metal conducts electricity, but it's not like it amplifies electricity. Like,
Exactly.
it's still a layer
Fair.
between him and the spear.
Yeah.
Fair. I
the layer
think
between-
what he should have done is he should have picked up his shoe and used that instead.
God. Instead of a
But he's
shield.
got rubber shoes.
No, he's going to channel his role from Ed and Eddie. You have unlocked the 3-shoe beating. No one knows this reference because you aren't weird. Anyway,
No, sorry. So
Sorry,
Percy gets the
you
shit
weren't
beat out of
invaders.
him.
No Invader Zim, no Ed and Eddie, and y'all grew up weird without that. Different breed. Well, Raye is
Yep.
self-explanatory. They grew up with Homestuck.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Sorry, everyone.
This was my era of was Percy Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they win capture the flag. Annabeth reveals herself because she has the Yankees cap. Really simple vanishing
Also,
animation.
Wait, we've gotten a Yankees cap.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were gonna.
We love
Like,
it. We love
it's great.
Listen,
Like, Every
And-
detail in this, from the electric spear, the Yankees cap, to like Clarice's like camo pants. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I feel
all
like-
camel pants. Yeah,
yeah.
it didn't really hit me that we were like really getting like everything in the adaptation, like, you know, like actually from the book until I saw the Yankees kind of like, oh yeah, like we're actually like really getting it this time. Like this is it.
This show's really good at keeping the things that worked well in the books. And I made a tweet about this, or a zeet, where
That's it.
it's very good. I hate it. It's very good at keeping the things that work. It's very good at keeping the lines that everyone loves. And it's also very good at taking some of the things that don't work well or don't get called back or doesn't matter and like reworking them or taking them out completely. I don't know if y'all noticed, they don't have that whole bit about like, oh, don't say like the names because that invokes their power or whatever. They don't have that bit because that also doesn't. That only happens in Lightning Thief. And then like after that, they just say names freely and nothing happens.
Yeah, honestly, that's more important to the Egyptian series. Actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, the thing that I'm very, very glad that they didn't adapt no Western civilization.
Oh, thank God we did.
Oh,
Boys.
yeah.
I
that
mean, technically we
explanation has not come up
haven't
at all.
yet
Technically, it's for hanging on
mentioned.
horses.
We have not yet mentioned where Olympus is in this world.
Yeah.
So maybe it's coming. And I'll be blindsided, but right now I'm riding the high of like, we're not talking about Western civilization. Western
don't talk about
civilization does not exist. We're safe. It's not a thing here. I don't want it.
So anyways, kind of sucks of Annabeth to just watch Percy get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, but also
I'm
No.
assuming she was assessing his skills and also like, well, she's letting him get hurt so she can throw him in the water. I mean,
but she's already deduced.
not like
Listen,
it doesn't suck. I'm saying.
it's really funny when the bathroom scene happens and Percy just like walks out. He's like, man, that was fucking weird. Wonder what that was.
Yeah.
And like Annabeth, who was there, already figured it out. She didn't want to say it, but she like wanted to prove it by pushing him in the water. And are we team? So here we go. In the book, I think it's always been described sort of like an emoji, like a plumb bob or something like a small little trident that appears over his head. Meanwhile, here in the show, we get a giant ass long trident, and we get Chiron being like, oh, you know, Stormbringer, Sea God, whatever, you know, Perseus Jackson, son of Poseidon. They forgot Father of Horses, which I'm okay with.
No,
So-
I'm mad about it. I'm mad that they didn't say Father of Horses. Okay.
I understand trying to keep the tone of the scene without it.
No.
As soon as the trident popped up, my friend Andy, who is the funniest person I know, was like, it falls on him and kills him instantly.
Like, I do think it was a bit longer than I expected.
Yeah.
No? I did.
Well, in the book,
could
it just
be
says
more-
trident. I feel like I just was like assuming that it's like shorter. I feel
The
I don't know.
The graphic novel makes it look like a little
yeah.
short, like literally like an emoji.
like an
is what I
icon
want
of a
done.
trident.
I
Yeah.
Like an
was
icon.
imagining the symbols from Hades, the game.
Oh, nerd,
like
dork.
you know this. They just have the cute little godly symbols.
Mhm.
That's what should appear above Percy's head. You know,
yeah.
I'm
It's
just
a-
saying.
I thought that this worked perfectly.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it or anything, but that's not what I pictured.
Yeah.
And then Chiron and Mr. D try to offer him the quest to be like, hey, you got to go get this lightning bolt or else everything's going to go to shit. Percy is like, I don't give a shit about Poseidon, you know, and then he says,
clear that they are using him.
Yeah, and then he says, you know, the best line in and then he says, you know, the best line in the 2 episodes, you know, I'm Sally Jackson's son.
Yes,
who's Sally Jackson?
You know, the only person who actually cared about calling herself my mother. It was great.
Exactly.
There was also the subplot where Grover found out from the Cloven Council elders that Percy's mom might be alive, that Hades took her just before she died. And Mr. D and Chiron are like, do not tell him. Do not tell him. Why? I presume just to protect him, whatever. But now that Grover knows that Percy needs to go on this quest, to entice him, he tells him, hey, Hades might have your mom, which is significantly better, I think, than the original, where it's Percy takes the quest and in the back of his mind is like, oh, hey, I'm going to the underworld. Maybe I could get my mom.
Yeah, Percy, like, in the books, he thinks it's like an Orpheus and Eurydice.
Right, he believes that she's dead still in the book.
Right.
Yeah, but instead we're like, hey, Percy, we know that, like, realistically, you just, like, don't want to go on this quest. Like, no matter what, you do not want to go here. Hey, if you go to Hades, where we think the bolt is, where we think it is, because we don't know anything yet, and you haven't actually seen the Oracle, you can go maybe save your mom, because she's been taken by Hades. So the quest is just for his mom. It's not even for the bolt, actually.
He's like, I might pick that up while I'm there.
But also, guys, we haven't seen the Oracle.
We have not. That's true. I wonder if we're gonna get that.
Oh, you're gonna like it. Anyway, Anyway, fuck, what was it? So then the episode ends with Percy doing such a, like, action star movie quote where he's like, so when do we leave?
Yeah.
Which is silly.
Fade to black.
And then I think the last thing we should really talk about are the credits, because the credits are in an Art Deco style that,
yes, very cool.
If you're paying attention to the credits, is sort of laying out what will happen throughout the series.
Yeah, it's good. We love it.
So the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I know that you want to go soon, so we'll try to keep it quick. As fans of Percy Jackson, we think that this is an incredible adaptation. If you were watching it not knowing what happens in the book, do you think it would play as well?
Here's the thing. I watched it yesterday with someone who'd never read the books. He asked a bunch of questions, but for the most part, he's like, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Right. I was wondering if it feels like maybe rushed or maybe exposition-y. I don't know.
Okay, so how about this? I watched it with my father. I watched it with both my parents, but my mom's read the books. But my father has only ever seen the movies.
Oh, yes.
So he was just like, they're 12? What? And like,
they're so small.
Yeah. Like, he didn't have a lot of questions, honestly. But like, I mean, I don't know. When your only context is the movies, and like, your biggest thing is just like, wait, this is happening? Wait, why does the Minotaur have underwear? What's happening? I'm like, this was a series for children, father.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, episodes 1 and 2. We got the teaser for episode 3, where we will apparently be meeting Medusa.
And also, I noticed that we are going to get Mrs. Dodds in the bus. So that's interesting.
Which
we are.
Lines up, you know. Y'all, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I have to leave like now. But
yeah, okay.
But Robert, that's been Robert from TheDamMemePage.
Robert from TheDamMemePage. If you want to find me on the internet. Yeah, if you want to find me on the internet, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at TheDamMemePage. Soon YouTube. What else? If you want to listen to me podcast, I do The Bits with Charlie. We talk about Steven Universe. I did other podcasts that are currently on hiatus for various reasons. So just The Bits for now.
Robert is amazing, and we love them. Best thing ever. Do you have a media you want to plug real quick, or are you good?
I mean, other than Percy Jackson, I guess the media I want to plug is the remake of the Super Mario RPG video game. I've been playing that on and off again for like the past couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
And it is a lot better than I remember from like the old SNES version, because, you know, remake. Let's go.
Nice.
Bye, Robert.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Robert is left. Let's talk shit about them. Live on the podcast, actually. I love Robert. Robert is the best. Raye, do you have a plug for us?
No, you go first.
Don't have a plug? Okay, well then I get to tell you about anime. Because I realized I still have not plugged this anime that I've been like obsessed with recently. It's real gay, guys. It's real fucking gay. It's called I'm in Love with the Villainess. I recently just told our friend Juice about it and that they need to go watch it. But like, bro, this is a gay anime. This is a lesbian anime.
I love that gay shit. It's true.
It's gay shit, and it's not like just implied gay shit. It is gay shit where the main character uses the word gay, where the main character continually says, I love you in a romantic sense to someone else, a female. I mean, the entirety of season 1 has just released, but spoilers for the finale of season 1, those feelings are not unrequited.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for lesbians all over the world.
I'm so happy. I will say, if you do want to watch it, it is a little bit cringe. It's a little bit cringe. But
the animes.
It's an isekai. Main character. Hey, their name is Raye. Sorry, her name is Raye. Sorry. The one like cis person whose name is Raye, like ever. I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. So she gets isekai'd. She dies of overwork and then gets reincarnated into her favorite video game, which is a dating sim, where she does not want to romance any of the men who she's supposed to be romancing, and instead is like, I'm actually gonna go after like the bully character who is supposed to hate my character. And what does she do? Like, immediately as she like wakes up and realizes where she is, she's like, I'm in love with you, and I don't care who knows it.
I should watch it. It does sound really cute.
Like, it's like I said, yeah, I watched it on a whim. I'm just like, this feels like cringy, but I want some lesbian shit right now.
Sometimes you just watch a cringe in isekai just to have like a good time. That's allowed.
I'm just here for like the fact that they're so adorable, and then they got me with some heartfelt things. Like, there's some drama here. Also, there's some magical girl things. Like not like there's no transformations, I'm sorry, but there is like actual like sorcery kind of. It's like they're like avatars, I guess. Everybody gets an element. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Also, our main character has main character energy, so she can control 2 elements.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good, man. It's real good. I'm enjoying myself. There's only like 12 episodes right now.
Yeah. I love a good season of anime.
I hope it gets a season 2, because I want to know where it's gonna go from here. You could
read the manga.
I know, there's a manga. It goes like, there's a whole thing. Yeah. Anyway. Go ahead, bro.
I was sitting here like, what on earth could I possibly recommend? It's fucking Christmas Eve. If you haven't watched Muppet Christmas Carol this year, even if you've seen it before, watch it again.
You know what I've never actually seen?
Charlie! Watch a Muppet Christmas Carol. It's so fucking good. All the people on YouTube agree it's the best version of A Christmas Carol. It slaps so hard. It's so good.
Do you not know that I'm not a Muppet person? Do you not know this information?
I did not know this information about you.
I'm like, okay, so I'm a Sesame Street
How do you not
person,
be a Muppet person?
But I'm not a Muppet person, really.
Like, even if you, like, don't know the Muppets, like, they're just little guys, you know?
I've always had a vague awareness of the Muppets.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're in Disney. We go to Disney, like, often enough. But I do still currently hold a grudge against the Muppets. For taking away the theming of Pizza Planet in Hollywood studios and changing it to Pizza Rizzo's for no fucking reason. I understand that the Muppet thing is right there, but like, where is my Pizza Planet? Anyway,
I'm so sorry, but that's not the Muppets' fault, though. That's angry. Corporate Disney and their greed.
It is. It's true. But, like...
You need to learn to forgive the Muppets and let them into your heart.
It's not like I don't... I like the Muppets' cousins, who are the Sesame Street people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like Elmo was my first boyfriend. You know? My first love. Ever. I still love Elmo.
Mm.
Anyway, I don't know how we get out of here, bro. We're just like...
Well, would you please release us from this mortal coil, how about?
Do I have to? Like, we're here. It's here. It exists. The Percy Jackson show, like, we won.
We did.
Y'all, Percy Jackson fans, we won. We got it. And it's amazing. And I'm gonna cry.
It's so good.
It's
I never imagined it could be so good.
Again, we just need a theme song. Like, what is wrong with television today and the fact that they no longer have good theme songs?
I miss them. Maybe just children like those or something. I don't know.
Anime still has good theme songs.
Anime still has like kick-ass OPs. I don't understand. The Western market is just like, we don't need theme songs anymore. Nobody wants to watch those.
I do. I never skip them.
My enemy.
I never skip theme songs.
Yeah, but that because we're so neurodivergent. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Get out of my fucking cabin. God, I wonder what it's gonna look like on the big screen someday if we get that far. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely God Complex level patron, Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support, bud.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like The Bits, a Steven Universe podcast celebrating the 10th anniversary of the show, hosted by two jam buds.
We are...
Not the Crystal Gems.
We are The Bits.
The Bits, the Bits, the Bits.
A Steven Universe review podcast.
Celebrating the 10th anniversary
of a show that's very near and dear to our hearts.
So get ready to cry with us.
And try our best not to sing.
As we rewatch one of the gayest shows of the 2010s.
New episodes coming out to you every Friday.
Featuring your favorite host, Charlie.
And Robert.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
You assume this is going to go by fast. We're covering 2 episodes.
It'll go by fast enough. We know what the plot is. We're just going to go over our favorite moments.
I mean, the plot isn't exactly the same.
Oh, well.
We gotta go beat by beat. I want to talk about favorite things, you know? Bro, there's so much.
Dave X Media.